Okay, here we are, back again with 20-minute Veto. This is, a bit of a seasonal episode. This is our first Christmas doing 20-minute Veto. So today we're going to discuss a little bit about Christmas movies. And maybe not so much the traditional Christmas movies, but undercover Christmas movies. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, by that I mean Christmas movies that are not traditionally seen as Christmas movies. It was my picks in our hangout, and for my two picks, I picked Batman Returns and Cobra. These are two films that I love watching this time of year. Grew up with all the Christmas standards, Scrooge and Christmas Carol and A Muppet Christmas Carol, one of the best, and Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street. How many versions of that are there? And The Grinch, of course, and then The Grinch again, and then The Grinch again. White Christmas, all these movies. And so over the years, I've just kind of gravitated towards movies that aren't the standard Christmas movies. And Batman Returns is one that I put on almost right away, hitting December. It is a strange entry in the Batman series, and second live action, third if you want to include the 60s Batman movie, but second live action Tim Burton Batman. Incredible movie, incredible cast. Took everything from the first movie and dialed it up again to 10. And it is an odd Christmas film. It's not one that probably people comes to mind for a lot of people for Christmas, especially since back in the day in 92 it was released in the summer. An odd choice. I remember seeing this movie, I'll date myself here, I was 9, and sitting in the theater super pumped for this, and the movie starts, and it starts with the opening downtown in the snow. Or no, first you get the birth of the Penguin, and we get to see Paul Rubens for the first time. I was a huge Pee-wee fan and excited. I was stunned that, wait a second, this is Paul Rubens. It's Pee-wee up there, and for a few minutes, and kind of a jarring opening with how they treat this baby. It's in a cage and it's eating cats alive, and then they toss it off a bridge, and
Merry Christmas.
and Merry Christmas, yeah, and it was like a mid-July outside, and so it was the first time in a theater. I remember being like, my brain kind of splitting, like, hey, wait a second, this doesn't feel right for this time of year. I feel like this should have come out at Christmas. And so I save it for Christmas every year, and I love it. Danny DeVito should have been at least nominated for an Oscar for this movie. Michelle Pfeiffer is legendary, iconic Catwoman. After two very iconic Catwoman, she had big shoes to fill from people who enjoyed the TV series. Eartha Kitt and Julie Newmar, who's
Lee Merriweather?
Yeah,
Lee Merriweather, yes.
Lee Merriweather, absolutely. And it was a big race to see who would be Catwoman. There were a bunch of names, including Sean Young really wanted to be Catwoman there. Showed up in some S&M Catwoman gear of her own, I think, was the legend of her.
Yeah, on Sally
Of
Jelly
her audition.
Raphael.
Audition.
Yes.
She dressed
Yes.
up like the 60s Catwoman
Yes.
rather than what Michelle Pfeiffer was going for, or what they developed for her.
And anyways, killer movie. I don't think it gets enough praise. I think it has, over the years, become seen as an excellent Batman movie. And this Batman, Michael Keaton is my Batman. I love Christian Bale as Batman, but Michael Keaton is my live action Batman. The mofo doesn't talk. It's all through his eyes. It's so Batman. I don't care if he's a little bit small, especially on some of the wider shots, but he just embodies Batman through and through, and he's lethal. He's a lethal enforcer in these movies, and it kind of got pooped on. I don't remember the reception. I remember kids liking it, but I don't remember the reception being all that favorable to it. Especially not like the first one. The first one was like everyone is 4 stars, and this movie's incredible. I think the second one left a lot of people scratching their head a little bit. Again, I think the release timing was weird for that. So yeah, that is a Christmas movie to me. I mean, they end the movie with Alfred saying "Merry Christmas, Master Bruce," and Bruce Wayne, returning, "Merry Christmas to you, Alfred, and to all good men and women." So it ends up being a Christmas movie. And then Cobra is a phenomenal Christmas movie. Again, Undercover. The first time I saw this, I was on TV years ago. I just happened to catch it right at the beginning of the car chase, and that's one of the best scenes in the movie, where Marion Cobretti, Stallone, is protecting Bridget Nielsen, and off they go on this car chase. 50 Mercury coupe, chopped coupe. It's incredible, beautiful car that they destroy. At least 3 of them during that chase, I'm sure. Got the movie later, and Heather and I were watching it, and I realized, because they play commercial during that famous scene right before he cleans his gun at home, where he cuts the pizza with the scissors. Legendary, and then eats the smaller piece. Watching his carbs, very health conscious, but he wants his pizza too. And he's sitting there cleaning his gun, and it's a Christmas ad for Toys R Us. And I was like, hey, wait a second, this is a Christmas movie. And sure enough, you start to notice that at the beginning. I think there's Christmas displays in the supermarket. It's LA, so there's no snow. It's not off the beaten path Christmas movie, but I love it for that as kind of a little wink in the background from the movie when you get this awesome cop action drama, and fantastic movie, awesome pacing. It's like a Canon adjacent movie because it was produced by the guys from Canon, but it was released by Warner Brothers, and it's killer. It's a great movie, and we mentioned it in our Mandy episode, and it just so happens that the director of Cobra, George P. Cosmatos, is the father of the director of Mandy, Panos Cosmatos. So that was hilarious, kind of kismet.
Coincidence, yeah.
Kismet, yeah. That synchronicity that Zach brought that up. Found that there was lots of Cobra in Mandy. So
there's a good reason for that.
Yeah. So to kind of expand with you guys, what do you think of Christmas movies, and off the beaten track or undercover Christmas movies? Do you agree that these movies are Christmas movies, and what are some other ones that you can think of, and what do you think of this topic?
As for these two, I enjoy both of these movies. I think.
Do you see them as Christmas movies?
Sure, I think this is like what do the kids say now? This Christmas adjacent or undercover. I like that, undercover Christmas, because neither Christmas isn't featured primarily in either one of these films, and yet they're
more so in Batman.
It's definitely more prevalent in Batman because you get the tree lighting ceremony and whatnot, and there's much more jokes around Christmas. Catwoman makes mention of Christmas. Alfred makes mention of Christmas. Christmas is featured quite a little bit, but it's not the main focus of the film. With Cobra, we see Christmas kind of in the background, like in the opening scene, shootout in the grocery store. You can see that there's Christmas decorations up outside and inside the store. I love that kind of thing with Christmas movies because, yes, the greats are the greats, but after a while, after watching them over and over and over and over and over again, how much more is there to say? So this is kind of a more interesting topic, I kind of think. And as for mine, I am a huge fan of the original Black Christmas movie. And surprisingly enough, this director, his other big claim to fame is A Christmas Story, which I think is fascinating because one is a truly Christmas classic film about a boy that wants a
24/7. That
Pardon?
it used. So I didn't think that movie existed. I thought I dreamed that movie until I saw A Christmas Story on TV way back in the 90s. And then every once in a while you'd catch it.
Yeah.
And then it had this explosion in the 2000s where it was like 24/7 Christmas Eve through Christmas you're going to get A Christmas Story. It like exploded there.
Yes, so I just think that's funny that that director's other big Christmas quote unquote movie is
horrifying.
Black Christmas, the story of a woman's young woman's fraternity or sorority house. That's the correct term. At Christmas time, that is being absolutely tormented by these disgusting prank calls that turn out to be a character named Billy that used to live in the home, who's a mental case. And this is one of the original slashers. It predates Halloween. It predates all of those movies, and it is also of the calls are coming from inside
Is
of
it
the
the
house
origin of
genre.
that?
I think What a Stranger
Urban
Calls
legend?
maybe predates it. I'm actually not sure. But I love this movie. The cozy feeling juxtaposed with the absolute horror of those prank calls, and
the isolation too, right?
the bit of the
Because they're
isolation.
at university, and it like Christmas is
everybody's leaving.
break.
Yeah, but it definitely still feels like Christmas, even though Christmas isn't the focus. The prank calls and the mystery around the prank calls and what's going on in the lives of the girls at the sorority house is really kind of the focus. But we watched it last year at my parents' place for Christmas, much to my mother's horror.
The original.
The original, yeah.
Yeah,
there are
you
several.
You also love. The
I do like the
remake.
2000s one. It's interesting, but I'm
2006.
talking here specifically about the original from the 70s. It's wonderful. But in terms of something a little bit more family friendly, that's like Christmas sorta, but Christmas isn't the focus. Just Friends. From the early to mid 2000s there with Ryan Reynolds
yeah.
and Amy Smart and Julie Haggerty from Airplane and the guy from The Girl Next Door, the sidekick, he plays
the friend.
Yeah, he plays Ryan Reynolds' younger brother. He's awesome. There's
House Bunny.
but yes, Anna Faris is
She's
hysterical
hilarious.
in this.
Yeah.
About Ryan Reynolds, who was growing up, he was a chubby guy. There's some hilarious stuff with him in a fat suit, singing "I Swear," and he's had a crush on his friend, played by Amy Smart, and it all goes wrong in his teenage years, and he sort of runs away and never looks back, becomes modern day attractive Ryan Reynolds working in the music industry, which is where Anna Faris comes into it as like a toxic Britney Spears kind of character. And he gets stranded in his hometown over Christmas break and reconnects with his lost childhood love. And it's warm, it's funny. Chris Klein also has a hysterical as Dusty
He's
Dingleman. Yeah, there are some great cameos. There's some hilarious scenes in this. It's fun for the whole family. There's nothing too gross or adult in it. It's kind of a modern day family Christmas movie, I suppose.
Yeah,
or date movie, maybe more appropriate as a date movie, but super, super fun. I would say add those to your list if you don't want to watch your tried and true favorites and you want something a little off the beaten path. Black Christmas and Just Friends would be my pick, along with Cobra and Batman Returns. Zach, your thoughts?
Well, let's do the science on this. What makes a Christmas movie, and what makes a Christmas adjacent movie? To me, the spirit of Christmas and how it embiggens us is a part of what makes it true. Like if Santa Claus comes down and grants a wish, or the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes that day, that's something you're affected by Christmas. Whereas then our Christmas adjacent films are framed by Christmas, the time duration. I guess
Yes, agreed.
my whole point for this Undercover episode is to ask the great question, the only question: is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
And I would say yes.
I say yes.
And I say no.
You say no, really?
I do, absolutely, 100%. It's not a Christmas movie. Go ahead. Tell me why you think it's a Christmas movie.
Why is it a Christmas movie? It takes place at a Christmas party. It's about reconnecting. So you're saying. So what makes a Christmas movie for you then? Is it you don't count movies that are framed by Christmas as Christmas movies?
He's adjacent for that.
You want more of a Scrooge tale, or like like you said, in a beginning from a cromulent.
Perfectly cromulent place. That's right. A story arc that involves the magic of Christmas implies to me a Christmas film to watch with family, both young and old. And Christmas Adjacent just has a backdrop. My first question is the follow-up. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Lethal Weapon 1 a Christmas movie?
Yes, I also see that one. But then maybe we're so tainted by our love of the adjacency and or undercoverness of some of these movies. I would say that Die Hard has a bit of an arc. I don't know. Lethal Weapon. Riggs has got a bit of an arc.
There's love in Die Hard.
Yeah.
There's love in Lethal Weapon.
Christmas magic and the sniper's bullets.
I mean, much like It's a Wonderful Life.
They're drinking eggnog when Handsucker gets shot from the helicopter. It goes right through the eggnog carton.
Well, I would say Riggs, especially, he is a man on the brink at the beginning. He very much like A Wonderful Life. This like the world would be better off without me kind of scenario. We see the man with a gun in his mouth.
Yeah, true.
And by the end of it, he is now part of this family.
He's part of the family.
He's part of the family.
Through the spirit of Christmas.
I don't know that it's the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of violence, perhaps, but
through the spirit of busting.
He has something to live
dealers,
for by the end of that movie.
Does it help you to know that they're written by the same person?
Christmas Tree, Shane.
That does absolutely not surprise me at all.
Does it help you to know they're directed by like the same person?
Shane Black wrote.
Yeah, Shane Black wrote both Lethal Weapon and Die Hard. So essentially they're the same movie with the same setup and the same execution. And so I think that's really smart. But my final evidence for Die Hard is just that Bruce Willis himself, at his own roast, is like, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah, but then who's he to say that though? Because
he didn't write it.
If you want to make Die Hard a Christmas tradition in your home, like then it becomes a Christmas movie.
If Santa Claus showed up to defeat Hans Gruber, then I would put it in the Christmas.
It ends with a Christmas song.
I agree with that, 100%, and so does Lethal Weapon.
And it ends on Christmas Day. Like that's Christmas Eve, I think, and it's Christmas Day. They're going to see the kids.
So my Christmas adjacent choices are Lord of the Rings extended cuts.
Oh, yes.
It gets cold and dark around the holidays. There are no holiday mentions of any kind, and yet that opening 90 minutes of the Fellowship when you're in the extended cuts, it feels Christmassy with the lights and the gathering, and I think kids can really kind of get on that. And the other one, of course, is C.S. Lewis, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Santa Claus shows
Which
up.
one? The BBC?
The recent one with Tilda McSwinton. Santa literally shows up and gives them gifts, but it is not, in fact, a Christmas movie. So
that opening bit though, where
Hook?
the younger daughter meets Mr. Tumnus at the lighted lamppost in the snow he's wearing the scarf is magical. That is Christmas.
Hook is about somebody coming back to family, and
it's framed by Christmas, but Santa, reindeer, the mythos of Christmas has no play in the true narrative. Is merely framed by it. So adjacent, I find
the pitter patter of Peter Pan on the roof.
If he brings presents, if it was all about, oh no, we have to get the children back by Christmas Day, then it would be a Christmas movie.
So then, to your point about watching Lord of the Rings, that brings up almost a third category. This category of like maybe just movies that
you like to watch
individuals
around
like to
Christmas.
watch around Christmas. Like Forever and a Day, the original Star Wars trilogy was something I loved to watch on Christmas Day. When making food, you put the turkey in and I just pop Star Wars in.
I know a lot of people that say they like to watch Harry Potter around Christmas time because there's usually a bit of a Christmas scene in each movie, and it does have that. It has that magical feeling.
And
I would add to that
with
list
Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah,
we like to watch that in the wintertime.
We do like to watch in the wintertime. I would add to movies that you like to watch around Christmas. I remember watching Eddie Murphy's Coming to America during the Christmas holidays. And that is definitely not Christmas. It's wintertime when they land in New York City. It's definitely cold.
But Trading Places is.
Trading
and
Places
it is
is.
effectually a sequel to Trading Places. So you're not wrong in that. You can just go from one to the other without much muss or fuss.
I also used to love to watch
Fuss or
Willow
fuss.
at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's fun.
I'm not sure why. Did it come out at Christmas time? I can't remember, but for some reason that was another one that I found we watched around the Christmas holidays.
Well, that is a wonderful jaunt or journey around the Christmas adjacent films. Stay tuned for some of our private thoughts on top 3 Christmas films that you might enjoy in the near future. This has been 20 Minute Veto from
Sean?
And Heather,
I'm Zach. We'll veto you later.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy New
Christmas.
Year.